Hello, Namaste Yuvaji. It's good to see you here. How's Rekha? Send my regards to Rekha. Good afternoon, everyone. So, yes, we will have another 30-minute session today. Chinhui, let me know if you can hear. So meanwhile, you can invite your friends, join us for this 30 minutes. Screen is sideways. Okay, thank you. So meanwhile, you can invite some of your friends and join us today for this 30 minutes to understand about the foot, our feet. So we will start at 4:30. So let's give it some time. Hello, Sulan. So for today practice, you will need a mat. If you don't have a mat, it's fine. Just get. It's okay. If you don't have a mat, it's fine. Yeah. So we don't really need the mat, but it's just that one of the techniques that we need to use, we will use the mat. Yeah. So meanwhile, you can invite your friend and join us for this 30 minutes session about awaken your feet or get grounded with your feet. Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. I hope you have a good Sunday so far. It's 4:30, 10 minutes to 4:30. So then I thought of, since I'm in a lockdown and wait alone, and I thought of sharing this little technique on how to release, a quick relief for foot pain. Hi Desmond, and a quick relief for foot pain and fascia relief. So meanwhile, you may invite your friend to join us. I know it's Sunday, people are having their time with the families, but if you're at home, just join me today. So for those who are already online, I can't see who. I can't really see you. So just give me a message if you are here with me, so that I know who are here with me. Hi Kain, hi. Hi Rindy, hello, waiting. Hello Reka. So at 4:30 we shall start the practice, and then it's about foot and how we look at very basic anatomy of the foot, and how in a quick relief we can release tightness in the foot, in the ankles, and then most importantly, and I think I've received after the last week session, I've received messages about heel spur and some student wrote to me, they wish to know about heel spur, or what it is called, a fasciitis, plantar fasciitis. So we'll try to go through a very quick understanding of what is actually the plantar fasciitis. Okay, so if you are here with me, just let me know, because this is a live. It's not really it's not really a two-way communication, so only through your message I'll know that if you are with me. So if you're here with me, just type something, and then so I know who is with me, and then maybe I can communicate with you. So let's give another few more minutes. Meanwhile, we'll wait for the others. Yeah, just 1 second. Is it my connection, or am I still audible to you? Just let me know if you can still hear me, because I can't seem to see any response. I'm not sure if it's my connection. If you can see me, or if you can hear me clearly, just write something so that I know you are with me, or else I will have to restart this whole thing. Good evening everyone, good afternoon, welcome to, okay, it works okay. Alright, so welcome to the live session today, and today's topic will be on foot, and how can we relieve our foot pain, tightness in the foot, especially when now in the lockdown and most of us are doing some sort of online activities, online yoga classes, online Zumba classes, online Tabata classes. So everything seems to be online. So and then we don't know we are not, sometimes we not ready, especially when we just wake up from bed. So we wake up from bed and then the class starts at 8 o'clock, and then what we do is we jump directly onto the mat or jump directly onto whatever practice you are doing for that day without properly waking up the foot. So that could be an issue, because the foot does so much of activities for the day, but then we did not wake up the foot properly, so that we just jump directly into whatever activities that the foot is supposed to bear the load and the responsible, so without really warming them up. So it is with that intention, and then I have come up with this idea of giving a 30 minutes free session on the foot, understanding the foot. So what I'll be doing is I'll take you through a very basic anatomy of the foot and understand what is foot, and then what combines of our foot, what are the joints. Yeah, so it's 4:30 now. 1 second, I have a message. Yeah, so thank you for joining me today, and I wish and I hope you have had a good Sunday before your dinner. All right, so, and Vicky, are you there? Because I think I received a message from Vicky as well, and you say that you would like me to touch on the plantar fasciitis, which is a heel spur. Usually it is the pain. The pain anchors at the heel area. So it's the heel pain, or we call it a heel spur. But then the cause of actual heel spur is unknown. So what many research and studies have shown is it is closely related to what it is called a plantar fasciitis. That means plantar fascia is a layer of fascia, the thin fat, whatever muscles that connects the heels all the way to the toes, right? So I have got the pictures drawn on my foot for you. Since it's a lockdown, I have nothing much to do, I just paint my foot a little. So as you can see, I have given you an image of the plantar fascia. So the plantar fascia originates, or it starts from somewhere near the heel and then goes all the way towards each toes. So it's spread out like a layers of web under your foot. So the fascia underneath the foot is called a plantar fascia. So what it does is it moves a different part of our foot, responds to our daily activities when we get onto our foot. For instance, like I've just mentioned, we do things online, like we attend different classes, activities online. So one of the reasons why do people get heel spur or foot pain is due to long hours of standing, long hours of sitting, or sending too much of the weight not evenly distributed or mostly gone into the heel. So that could also cause the tear of plantar fascia. So the tear of the web underneath the foot, therefore it causes pain at the heel. Alright, so now there are some techniques which we are going to do today. So what I would like you to know is that some anatomy of the foot. Some anatomy of the foot. Okay, I got a message. Thank you. So 1 second. Yeah, so the anatomy of the foot, when we look at the foot first, yeah, if you look at the foot, you need to know that there are few important joints, yeah, so in the foot that you need to know. So if you can name me, yeah, if you can name me what are the joints that you know in your foot, that will be good, so that I know that I'm not talking to myself. So if you could just type and comments below what are the joints that it can be found in your foot. Okay, so anybody wants to give it a try? What are the joints that you know of which is in the foot? Okay, so let me just give it a while. Yes, so then we have the first joint, which is one of the biggest joint in the foot, is called the ankle joint. Yeah, so the ankle joint is where you will find here mostly. If you just hold your hand here, I'm not sure if you can see me, so let me see slightly behind. Yeah, so this is your ankle joint. If I'm raising my foot here, so what does the ankle joint do? The ankle joint move your foot this way, right? So they're going down and they're going up. So this is what the ankle joint does: dorsiflex and plantar flex. So these two movements the ankle joint does mostly. And then this is the first joint. So remember, we have one joint here called the ankle joint. Then next we have is the subtalar joint. The subtalar joint is somewhere here. And now what the subtalar joint does is, the subtalar joint does this action of, maybe I should sit this way so it's clearer. So the subtalar joint does the foot in a supination and a pronation position. So like as if they are flipping, they can turn the foot. So that's why when you walk, you could lift up with your foot, and then as well as you can turn the foot sideways, is because of the subtalar joint. Okay, so we have the ankle joint, and then we have the subtalar joint. And next is what we call the transverse. The transverse tarsal or the metatarsal joint somewhere here. And if you do it with me, hold your foot with your heel with your palm, and then you hold the other one with the forefoot like this. You're holding your leg. Now then gently you turn your foot, your heel towards the inside, and you turn your foot into the opposite direction as if you are rinsing your clothes or a towel. So you turn opposite direction. Notice how the foot has that twisting sensation and the twisting action. So this is very important. So try to do this more. Try to spend some time in doing this foot twisting. I'm so sorry. So do this more. Spend a little time to twist your foot. Now look at your foot. You might find that as you turn, you want to turn into the opposite direction. Turn into the opposite direction. That's it. Correct. Now can you feel how the bones, as if they are going into the opposite direction, the twist? That's it. Do that. This is very similar to the previous one, which is the subtalar joint. This is called the transverse tarsal joint. The subtalar joint, I reverse back to the number 2 subtalar joint, where the foot can flip inwards, like when we are sitting for Padmasana, how the foot folds up. That is mostly your subtalar joint. Now, so when you do this, and as the transverse talar or the transverse tarsal or the metatarsal joint, where you twist, you look at how my hand go into the opposite direction. So as I twist this way, my toes downwards, my heel I turns up. Okay, then the last one, the fourth movement of your foot joints is your toes, the phalangeal joints. So the toes, you, again the same thing, hold the heel. Now just hold your toes this way, where you spread it up and then down. Do that a few more times. Up and down. This way. Hold it. You can use both hands. Okay. And then we release. Now let's come up standing. So if you come up standing, keep both your feet apart. Now I want you to sense the right foot versus the left foot. Now notice how light your right foot feel and how the left foot feel. Good. Now then we shift the weight to the right leg. Just lightly pick up your left foot. Let your left foot come up. Alright? Now just gently just bounce it slightly. Just lift up the toes. Now jump, hop a little. Okay, so let's go to the left side. If you pick up, you hop, you see the difference. If you come up to the front of the toes, feel the difference. Change side one more time. Now see if you can find out the difference in both the legs, especially in the ankle joints. Yeah? Okay, so let me know if you cannot really feel, because it's quite this small movement and all this required you to feel it and sense it. So if you're not in a physical class with me, then basically it's quite hard for me to tell how you would feel, unless you let me know. If you type, if you can feel it, please type something. If you can't feel it, let me know so that I know what can I do for you the next. Okay, otherwise we will go to the other leg. So with the left leg, so if you remember, there are 4 main movements in the foot, right? So the first movement is your ankle. So the ankle does dorsi and plantar flexion. So you hold it just like that. You hold it and very gently move it up and down. Okay, we move it up and down. Understand how when the ankle joint moves, it kind of glide into each other. So very gently you want to move that. Okay, so that is your ankle joint movement. What is the next? Next we come to the subtalar joint. Okay, so the subtalar is somewhere here, the second, where it does this internal and this external, very small movement. So you hold your foot, notice how I hold my foot, and then I just turn it in and out this way, like as if I'm holding for Padmasana. See how this foot turn in your Padmasana? So like that, very slowly, let's turn the foot. Notice the internal rotation is more than the external. So when the foot turns in, it is able to turn more than as the foot turns out. Very slowly, let's turn it. Okay, and then once we are done with the subtalar joint, we go to the transverse. Yeah, so the transverse is where you do the rinsing action. You go into the opposite. Alright, so let's hold one hand on the foot, one hand on the forefoot, one on the heel, sorry, one on the forefoot. So where you start twisting into the opposite direction. Maybe it's not so obvious if I sit this way, yeah, but I'm sure you understand. So let's go this way. We turn it into the opposite direction. If the heel turns down, the foot turns up. If the foot turns down and the heel turns up. So try to release those tightness in the foot. Now, because of the metatarsal or the transverse tarsal joint is the most important movement, it creates a very important movement as we walk or as we stand or as we jump. So you really want to spend some time in doing this. Do that. And then lastly, we go to the toes. So you can just hold this and go into a dorsiflex, plantar flex, dorsi and plantar. Keep going with this, dorsiflex and plantar flex. Just very gently, don't try to overbend the toes. Doing it slowly. And then we release. Okay, so let's come up standing again. So every time after you've done that action, again you come up, you stand, noticing how the sole of the feet feel and sense when it comes in contact with the floor. So that is your plantar fascia. So allow them to spread underneath on the floor. Alright, so from here, once again, I want you to feel shifting the weight to the left leg, pick the right leg up. So from there, we just lightly I'm going to show you slightly further. So from there, we lightly lift up those heels. Alright, and then just jump it slightly, just a very small hop, and see how did the leg feel. Okay, so release and just tap your foot on both sides. See if you can feel the ankles, the foot, the toes, all of them become slightly more loosen up. Okay, and then release. Good. Now, there's another technique for you to release the plantar fascia, especially for those with a heel spur or pain in the heel. So usually the pain comes in the morning because after a long 6-7 hours of sleep, so the foot or the plantar fascia underneath the foot gets stiffened, gets dried up because of non-move. When we're sleeping, we don't move much. So what you can do is, when you get up from the bed, just before you walk down from the bed, because usually the pain comes in the first few steps when you walk, and the pain is really a pinch, a really good, great pain. So what you want to do is, when you get up from the bed, you can lie on your back. Okay, so imagine I'm lying on my back. So, or sit onto the edge of the bed, cross your leg like how I cross my leg, and then do the alphabet. So imagine using your foot to write a big letter A. We do alphabet A, right? And then we do alphabet B. So when you do that, notice whatever joint that we have just touched, as you continue to go A, B, C, D, E, as you continue to write those letters. Now I want you to notice the 4 movements that we have just done earlier, where we address the ankle movement, we address the subtalar movement, which is this and that, and then we also address the twisting movement, which is the transverse metatarsals movement, and then also certain parts which we will start pointing with the toes. Notice that? So you, by writing these alphabets, you want to write alphabets, write Chinese letters, write whatever languages you understand with your foot. So really fully articulate the joint movement. It will help you to release or bring more fluid into the plantar fascia underneath the foot. Okay, so understand this. So as you start moving this like that, I'm very sure once you place your foot down, you can feel the difference in your right compared to the left. Okay, so comment if you don't feel, let me know. Comment if you feel, so that I know. Otherwise, I feel like I'm just talking to myself, and then I won't know if my message has reached you. Okay, so the last technique before we end this session is only if you have a yoga mat. Okay, only if you have a yoga mat, you roll it up. Then once you roll it up, you keep it somewhere safe. Maybe if you're losing stability, I would suggest you have a chair in front of you, or you go against the wall. Now, then you're gonna roll your foot on this roll mat. Notice how I place the arch on the roll mat, and I go front and back to roll. And notice when I roll it, my toes and my heels don't touch the floor. So what I am massaging, or what I am pressing it, is the plantar fascia. Remember, it's the heel to the toes. So we do one side, we release, then we change it to the other side. Alright, so we change it to the left. Again, you do the same thing. You go roll it, but try not to roll too fast, because you really want to feel that you are pressing every part of the middle foot onto the mat. Yeah, so let's go a few more rounds. And then we release. Next would be, stand both your foot on the edge of the mat. Okay, to help you gain better stability, what you can do is you can do like what I'm doing now. So I go one foot at a time, just very gently
press on my foot. So again, my heel and my toes are off the mat and off the floor. Okay, so you do this. And then you stay still. Now we start rolling onto the foot. If you see how I'm rolling it. So as I roll my mat, I don't allow my heels or my toes to touch the floor. And I kind of control that, manage that movement in a way that it doesn't go too front or too much to the back. Okay, so one more. If you have mat, you can do it with me, but if you don't have mat, then you just have to maybe feel and sense it. Okay, and then slowly we come down with the foot. Now just stand there, close your eyes, feel the base of your feet. Notice how the legs become broader. If you notice how the base of the foot becomes broader, it spreads so wide that it actually grounds into the floor, sorry. Yeah, sense that. And then very gently, as you're standing there, just gently lift up one foot at a time as if you're imitating walking. And then observe how the web or the arch of the foot begin to respond to the pressure as you're moving. Can you feel that? Good. And then slowly we release. Right? So that's it for today's session. It's very quick. Yeah, it's a very quick relief for you to help relieve the pain in the foot, mainly called the heel spur or called plantar fasciitis. So if you have any questions and if you don't understand, you can comment here. So if after I go offline, I will read your comments and I'll try to answer you if I can. So otherwise, thank you very much for joining me and have a good Sunday. See you. Bye bye.